Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, Chapter 1, Part 3. It all gets so confusing if we keep saying, you know who. I have never seen any reason to be frightened of saying Voldemort's name. I know you haven't said Professor McGonagall, sounding half exasperated, half admiring, but you're different. Everyone knows you're the only one you know. Oh, alright, Voldemort was frightened off. You flatter me, said Dumbledore. Call me Voldemort. Had powers I will never have, only because you're too, well, noble to use them. It's lucky it's dark. I haven't blushed so much since Madame Pomfrey told me she liked my new earmuffs. Professor McGonagall shot a sharp look at Dumbledore and said the owls are nothing next to the rumor that are flying around. You know what everyone's saying about what he's disappearing, about what family stopped him. It seemed that Professor McGonagall had reached the point she was most anxious to discuss, the real reason she had been waiting on the cold hard wall all day, for neither as a cat nor as a woman had she fixed Dumbledore with such a piercing stare as she did now. It was plain that whatever everyone was saying, she was not going to believe it until Dumbledore told her it was true. Dumbledore, however, was choosing another lemon drop and did not answer what they're saying. He pressed on. Is that last night Voldemort turned up in Godric's Hollow. He went to find the Potters. The rumor is that Lily and James Potter or they're dead. Dumbledore bowed his head. Professor McGonagall gasped. Lily and James, I can't believe it. I didn't want to believe it. Oh, Opus. Dumbledore reached out and patted her on the shoulder. I know, I said heavily. Professor McGonagall's voice trembled as she went on. That's not all. They're saying he tried to kill Potter's son Harry, but he couldn't. He couldn't kill the little boy. No one knows why or how, but they're saying that when he couldn't kill Harry Potter, Voldemort's powers somehow broke, and that's why he's gone. Dumbledore nodded gloomily. It's true, faltered Professor McGonagall. After all he's done, all the people he's killed, he couldn't kill a little boy. It's just astounding of all the things to stop him. But how in the name of heaven did Harry Potter survive? We can only guess, said Dumbledore. We may never know. Professor McGonagall pulled out the lamp's handkerchief and David at her, eyes beneath her spectacles. Dumbledore gave a great sniff at he took a golden watch from his pocket and examined it. It was a very odd watch. It had 12 hands but no numbers. Instead, little planets were moving around the edge. It must have made sense to Dumbledore thought, because he put it back in his pocket and said, Hagrid's late. I suppose it was he who told you you'll be there by the way. Yes, said Professor McGonagall, and I don't suppose you're going to tell me why you're here. Oh, of all places, I'll come to bring Harry to his aunt and uncle. They're the only family he has left now. You mean you can mean the people who live here? Cried Professor McGonagall, jumping to her feet and pointing at number 4. Dumbledore, you can all been watching them all day. You couldn't find two people who were less like us. And oh god, this son, I saw him kicking his mother out the way up the night out up the street and screaming for sweets. Harry Potter, come and live here. It's the best place for him, said Dumbledore firmly. His aunt and uncle will be able to explain everything to him when he's older. Oh, writing them a letter. A letter, repeated Professor McGonagall, faintly sitting back down on the wall. Really, Dumbledore, you think can explain all this in a letter? These people who will never understand him. He'll be famous, a legend. I wouldn't be surprised if today was known as Harry Potter Day. In the future, there will be books written about Harry. Every child in our world will know his name. Exactly, said Dumbledore, looking very seriously above the top of his half-moon glasses. I wouldn't be enough to turn any boy's head famous before he can walk and talk. Famous for something he wouldn't even remember. Kara, you see how much better off he'll be growing up away from all that until he's ready to take it. Professor McGonagall opened her mouth, changed her mind, swallowed, and then said, yes, you're right, of course, but how is the boy getting here? Dumbledore, she eyed his cloak. Suddenly, she thought he might be hiding Harry underneath Hagrid's bright hand. You think it wise to trust Hagrid with something as important as this? I would trust Hagrid with my life, said Dumbledore. I'm not saying his heart isn't in the right place, said Professor McGonagall groundedly, but you can't pretend he's not careless. He does tend to. What was that? A low, rumbling sound had broken the silence around them. It grew steadily louder as they looked up and down the street for some sign of a headline. It's well to a road as they both looked up and at the sky, and a huge motorcycle fell out the street, the air, and landed on the road in front of them. If the motorcycle was huge, it was nothing to the man sitting astride. He was almost twice as tall as a normal man, and at least 5 times as wide. He looked simply too big to be allowed, and so wild. Long, tangled with bushy black hair and bare did hide most of his face. He had hands the size of trash can lids, and his feet in their leather boots were like baby dolphins in his vast, muscular arms. He was holding a bundle of blankets. Hagrid, said Dumbledore, sounding rebel at last. And where did you get that motorcycle? Borrow it, Professor Dumbledore. Sit, said the giant, climbing carefully off the motorcycle as he spoke. Young Sirius Black lent it to me. Overcut him, sir. No problems, were there? No, sir. House was almost destroyed, but I got him out all night before the muggle starts throwing around. He fell asleep as we was flying over Bristol. Dumbledore and Professor McGonagall bent forward over the bundle and blankets inside. Just visible was a baby boy fast asleep under the stuff of jet black hair over his forehead. They could see a furiously shape cut like a bolt of lightning. Is that where? Whispered Professor McGonagall. Just said Dumbledore. Oh, have that scar forever. Couldn't you do something about it, Dumbledore? Even if I could, I wouldn't. The scars can come in handy. I have one myself, a bow my Lamborghini that is a perfect map of the London Underground. We'll give him here. Great. We'd better get this over with. Dumbledore took Harry in his arms and turned toward the Dursley's house. Could I, could I say goodbye to him, sir? Asked Harry. He bent his great shaggy head over Harry and gave him what must have been a very scratchy, whiskery kiss, and suddenly Hagrid let out a howl like a one's dog. Shh! Asked Professor McGonagall. You wait the muggles. Sorry, sobbed Hagrid, taking out a large potted handkerchief and burying his face in it. But I, I can't stand it, Lily and James said, and poor little Harry of 10 lives with muggles. Yes, it's all very sad, but get a grip on yourself, Hagrid, or well, be found. Professor McGonagall whispered, patting Hagrid gingerly on the arms, and Dumbledore stepped over the low garden wall and walked to the front door. He laid Harry gently on the doorstep, took a letter out of his cloak and tucked it inside Harry's blankets, and then came back to the other two. For a full minute, the three of them stood and looked at the little bundle. Hagrid's shoulders shook. Professor McGonagall blinked furiously, and the twinkling light that usually shone from Dumbledore's eyes seemed to have gone out. Well, said Dumbledore finally, that's that. Well, no business staying here. We may as well go and join the celebrations.